makers, I'm Charlotte from the Wood & Wick Co.
And I'm Jeff Stanley from Stanley Handcrafted.
We're going to be teaching you everything you need to know about fragrance. Fragrance is fun, it's exciting, and it's experiential. We have our Fragrance Discovery Kit here from the Wood & Wick Co., which is a great entry into the world of fragrance. Jeff, tell us a little bit about how you go selecting a fragrance.
Like Charlotte said, fragrances are actually very fun in an exciting way to kind of really set yourself apart when candle making. When I start looking for oils, I definitely look for unique, some of the stuff that's not out there, and really just go through, and you want to find a quality oil. So it's good to reach out and kind of test different oils.
Absolutely. So there's a variety of olfactive families when it comes to fragrance, from citrus, woody, floral, aquatic, or green. There's a variety of different types of fragrance that you can explore. So look for a category that you love, and if you're building out a whole collection of candles, it's great to have one or two from each different scent family to kind of build your line. In a fragrance, there are top, middle, and base notes. So top, middle, and base notes are basically the different parts of fragrance notes that you smell over time. So the top notes are those that you're gonna smell right away. The middle notes you're gonna smell next, and the base notes you're going to smell once the fragrance has fully settled. To evaluate your fragrance, you can use something called a fragrance blotter strip. A fragrance blotter strip, you dip into your fragrance oil till about half an inch of the tip is submerged in the oil, and then you're gonna wait about 10 to 15 seconds to evaluate it. That's gonna give you a nice read on your fragrance. Additionally, an important piece of information to know about your fragrance if you're using it for anything other than candles is what is on your IFRA document. Jeff, can you tell us a little bit about what's on an IFRA document?
This is the document that basically tells you exactly what percentages you need to have as far as candles, lotion bars, lotions, soaps, or anything like that. And there are percentages that you want to pay attention to because they can really alter or affect the end product. So with a candle, you're typically looking at 8, 10, 11, 12%, depending on what you do. Whereas with like a lotion or soap, you're much lower. You're
Absolutely.
Like 3, 4, 6% maybe, depending on the lotion or something like that. But definitely something you want to pay attention to, and that information will be on that IFRA sheet.
Perfect. So anytime you're working with a fragrance for products that are going to go on skin or going to be used in another application, make sure you get a hold of that IFRA document. It'll lay out each category and let you know what's the safety percentage for those. So the next piece of documentation that you want to have when working with fragrance oils is something called an MSDS. The MSDS is going to have a piece of information that you definitely want called your flash point. So the flash point, if you're using any Wood & Wick Co. fragrances, is listed always on the back of the bottle. The flash point is going to be the temperature at which your fragrance can actually combust or catch on fire. So you never want to exceed your fragrance beyond the flash point in terms of the temperature. And not only just for safety precautions do you want to be aware of this, but also your fragrance can actually change its composition when you heat it beyond the flash point. So never add your fragrance into a wax that exceeds that fragrance's flash point. Jeff, tell us a little bit about some of your favorite types of fragrances. Are they florals? Are they green? Are they woody? What do you really love?
I typically go, well, like a real base, I like a spice or a cinnamon in anything. It's just one of my favorites. But I tend to go a lot more bright, tropical, fruity. I definitely like those a lot. I like all scents, but definitely a lot more towards tropical and fruity.
Where do you get your inspiration for fragrance? Because you're a really creative person.
Yeah.
I know you love to use really unique fragrance oils to help set your candles apart. How do you decide what resonates with you or narrow it down to which ones you want to use?
I pretty much just go out there and start trying absolutely everything. If I see something in a store that I think sounds good, or just go through all the different oil websites, and like your guys' in particular, just go through and see something that maybe sparks, like see clove or something like that, and then start looking more for clove because I like that scent.
Yeah.
And really just start grabbing some oils and really testing them. And then of course just seeing stuff out there, you can see combinations of stuff that you think
That
you
works.
would like. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so the fragrance discovery kits are a great way to kind of put into practice what Jeff is talking about, because you can get a fragrance discovery kit, you can smell a lot of different types of fragrance and just get a baseline understanding of which types of fragrance you like, which scent notes maybe work for you, and then from there you'll have a baseline to put your entire fragrance collection together. So start out by exploring, start out by having some fun, because there's all sorts of fragrances out there.
Definitely.
And it's a place to be really creative with your candle making.
It absolutely is. And it's another way to really extend your knowledge into candles. And these kits are really great because you can test a bunch of different ones. And once you start to smell like this one, 10 or 12 in a row, you start to really pick up differences in some of the oils, which kind of makes you a little bit more choosy, and it gives you a lot more knowledge when you start picking other oils, and you can really learn to pick up different scents. And like you mentioned, the base notes, which can be a little bit more subtle sometimes, you'll definitely pick those up in other oils.
Yes, so you can really start to train your nose.
Absolutely.
And as you smell more complex oils that have a wide variety of top, middle, and base notes, you're gonna learn, okay, this is what patchouli smells like. This is what sandalwood smells like. And you'll start to have a bit more of a sophisticated nose and understand what these different ingredients smell like. So fragrance is super fun. We encourage you guys to explore it. If you're using any of the Wood & Wick Co. waxes, we suggest using our fragrance oils at 8 to 12% fragrance load. And in our next video, we're going to walk you guys through how to choose the best candle wax.
We'll see you there.